Your boy Summrs, are you buying his hard drive for $1 million?
$1 million for an underground rapper? No. I think you can get like a Drake reference, like straight from him, recorded, whatever, but if it's not his voice and his likeness, it's not worth anything. Because Drake could literally like take a homeless person's reference track and make it hard, and then now it's worth 150x of what it was for the homeless guy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I mean, this is Summrs we're talking about here. This isn't any random.
This is Summrs.
Yeah.
No.
And how many, like, if it's 500 songs, that's a lot of songs.
Yeah, man, but yeah, okay. So he was saying that you could use the tracks however you want, like copy word for bar, the whole reference track, but then you have to buy the beats, right?
Oh.
So that's an extra, like, I don't even know. It depends on how many songs it is and then the producers. But yeah, I don't think I can make $1 million off of just straight Summrs reference tracks. No hate.
Let's just say he's willing to negotiate. He's like, OBO, what's your best offer that you'd offer him for that? Let's say you've got $10 million to spend. You don't want to spend the $1 million. How much are you willing to spend with Summrs to negotiate a deal?
To get reference tracks.
Yeah,
Solely.
to get his hard drive. I mean, not only do you get the reference tracks, you get to enjoy the music to yourself. Martin Shkreli paid $2 million for a Wu-Tang album.
Right, but I think that the value that is held for that Wu-Tang album it's more like it's like a perceived value thing, not necessarily. It's like a Cardi leak or like a Juice WRLD leak that are going for $20,000 a song. I don't know. I think the way it would be valued is how much does a summer leak go for? I've never even seen a group buy for Summrs music.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, if he's asking for half of a Wu-Tang album, that's kind of crazy.
So Wu-Tang was $2 million for Martin Shkreli?
Yeah. And he wants one. Well, maybe he's given a lot more songs, but we're just talking branding wise. Like Wu-Tang, the special album branding that they had like a bunch of art done for it.
Well, so YoungBoy did the same thing, right?
What?
He like wanted to sell a hard drive of music.
I didn't even know he was trying to do that.
But the thing is, if I recall correctly, he wanted to sell it to a label wherein they could just release it as YoungBoy though. Which again, the likeness of YoungBoy, I think that a Summrs could literally take a reference track of like an underground rapper, but just because he has the Summrs voice and the Summrs brand, it's selling at least a certain amount floor streams, but it doesn't work the other way around. Like people copping Yeet features right now for 80,000 or something or whatever it is. Like, are you really getting that back?
Probably not.
Exactly.
However, though, what's his name was also doing something like, not like this, but years ago, this is how the Kid Cudi beef with Lupe Fiasco initially started publicly, was Lupe Fiasco was saying, hey, if any of my fans want a personally written verse that you cannot release, it's $1,000. And then Kid Cudi quoted it and said something like, oh, I would never scam, or subbed him and was like, I would never scam my fans like this. Now, I don't believe that's a scam.
I feel like that's kind of cool. It's like a signed merchandise thing, you know?
So would you pay $1,000 for something like that from an artist that you like?
Would I?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
I'm not into
What if
that.
it's a Wiz Khalifa thing?
If it's old Wiz, still no. Like, I don't even participate in these leaked group buys. I don't get it.
But I feel like it's like kind of like a trophy.
I agree.
I don't know if I do it. Back then I was like $1,000, that's crazy. But now I'm like, you know what? This is a very personal piece of work that's been written specifically for you. And this person's job is to write. And he's known for writing well. I'm like, okay, that seems reasonable.
I do think it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Just personal. Like, I don't even think it's really that bad of a collectible. I think it's a cool collectible. It's very creative, but I don't even buy regular collectibles. So, like that, I have a whole lot of red vinyl behind us, but I paid like $25 for it. So,
What if there were only 100 made? Would you pay 1,000 for it?
if it was like a Cardi verse, okay, there we go. If it was
No. If there were only 100 Cardi vinyls made for a whole lot of red, and they were 1,000 each, would you buy one?
yeah,
Okay. But that's because of the perceived value. You believe
it's the
people will be willing to pay
yeah,
more.
it's completely perceived album, because if you're really, yeah, if you could get another vinyl and look just as cool, but all collectibles are just perceived value.
I agree with that.
Any like watch, perceived value.
But let's say functionality wise. Now, Summrs, respectfully, I wouldn't buy your hard drive. I do think you make good music. Is he the king of the underground right now? Because we can't consider him underground.
Do you consider Destroy Lonely underground?
Yes.
He's the king right now.
Really?
Yeah.
But I feel like he hasn't, put his nose to the grindstone for long enough.
I agree, but like
maybe
Opium,
he's rookie of the year.
he passed everybody already.
Yeah, but
He already hit Billboard.
That's
Summrs
because
didn't do
Cardi. That's because Cardi co-signed him. So like he's got steroids. He's not natty.
that. I agree with you. He's Liver King right now. But
He's following the ancestral tenets.
yeah. Okay, so I understand what you're saying, and I do agree that Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson would not be the same size as they are right now. Right now, specifically, at least, because Star Power, I always say, like, can eventually get to the same point, but Cardi just seeps into things, and for some reason, like, okay, I can tell by the engagement on Instagram posts. Like, anytime there's something that goes down with Destroy Lonely, I'm like, okay, we posting this right now because all the fans are fiending for this shit. For Destroy Lonely.
Okay. Well, now that this hard drive thing got me thinking again about Sway Lee when he was faking like somebody stole his hard drive to release an album, which never ended up getting released. What happened with that, Sway Lee? We're still waiting. Well, but would you, because Sway Lee's a certified hit maker. Like, let's be fair here.
Okay.
Not to reference the Lil Mosey album. He is not a certified hit maker. So, would you be willing to buy a Sway Lee hard drive that you can use the references for if your plan is like, hey, I have this artist, I think he's got a good image, a good likeness. If I buy all of these references from Sway Lee and I know how to make something happen, we could have some hits on our hands.
So you're asking me how much I would pay for that?
No, I'm saying, would you be willing to pay for something like that at that point? I would.
I've actually done that before with an artist I manage. We like got actually a pretty popular rapper.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, now got him in the studio and they like helped make music, and one of the tracks I've even told the story on YouTube, I think, so it's not even secret. But I even made the track to it like myself. I rapped it because that artist didn't want to release it, even though it was like better than, in my opinion at least. It was more like on where music is going as opposed to like their genre that they were doing. But yeah, so I do think reference tracks are huge. I mean, Drake and all these big artists live off them. Like, they would not be able to be as successful without them, no? Do you agree?